Hey, Shalom Yasharala, which means peace, Israel. I'd like to start out by giving our praises, our honor, and our glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bahakadash, Yahweh. That'll be the true and powerful mighty name of who the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, Yahweh, or Higher. Bahashem means in the name. Yahweh Shai, that's the true and powerful mighty name of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Yeshua, Yeshua, or Yeshaya. In the Rahach Kodash is the Holy Spirit, according to the ancient Paleo Hebrew tongue. I would like to give double honors into the apostles and elders, a great millstone, who have learned the truth of the Bible from, and peace, blessing, safety, and salutation unto the hopeful elect, and to believers and listeners out there that came back into the faith and obedience of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And much love and respect to you, brothers, pushing this gospel in sincerity and truth, risking your lives and freedom now more so than ever. May Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai continue to bless you and your households. I'm the brother Yawan, coming back at you with another lesson, Lord willing, is edifying to the Lord's elect. And hey, things are heating up, man. Prophecy is just continuing to unfold and play out. Came across this article, and it reads: Senior Russian officials reveals countries are ready to supply Iran with nuclear warheads. So, former Russian Prime Minister Dmitry, I don't even know. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Warned the United States via social media that a number of countries are now prepared to arm Iran with their nuclear warheads following the Saturday bombing of nuclear facilities. President Donald Trump announced via Truth Social Saturday evening that U.S. military forces had successfully bombed 3 Iranian nuclear facilities following multiple reports that Iran was close to developing a nuclear bomb. Given the Iranian support of numerous anti-Israeli terrorist organizations and the regime's repeated position that Israel should not exist, this was seen as a dire situation that called for immediate remedy, or at least that is the position of the Trump administration. Hey, and Trump is doing what Yahweh Shai Shai want him to do, and that's to bring this thing, man. Okay, kick things off. Dmitry, who now serves as deputy chair of the Security Council of the Russian Federation under President Vladimir Putin, took to X to ostensibly reveal what he sees as the results and consequences of the U.S. attack on Iran, which is primarily supported by Russia. Exactly. That's, Ezekiel 38, Russia being the guard. In a 10-part thread, Dmitry laid out why this conflict could easily escalate beyond a preemptive attack designed to disarm Iran's nuclear capabilities. What had the Americans accomplished with their nighttime strikes on 3 nuclear sites in Iran? Dmitry asked rhetorically before answering his own question. One, critical infrastructure of the nuclear fuel cycle appears to have been unaffected or sustained only minor damage. The enrichment of nuclear material, and now we can say it outright, the future production of nuclear weapons will continue. A number of countries are ready to directly supply Iran with their own nuclear warheads. Israel is under attack. Explosions are rocking the country and people are panicking. The U.S. is now entangled in a new conflict. Yeah, because, Esau is not a keeper at home. Okay. With prospects of a ground operation looming on the horizon. Iran's political regime has survived and all likelihood has come out even stronger. The people are rallying around the country's spiritual leadership, including those who were previously indifferent or opposed to it. Trump, once hailed as president of peace, has now pushed the U.S. into another war. Hey, when they say peace and safety, there's sudden destruction. The vast majority of countries around the world oppose the actions of Israel and the United States. At this rate, Trump can forget about the Nobel Peace Prize, not even with how rigged it has become. What a way to kick things off, Mr. President. Congratulations. Dmitry's objective appears to be clear: dismiss any U.S. claims of a successful mission and not so veiled threats that Iran and Russia will not take this attack without response. You hear that? Iran and Russia, because you know they're partners, which is prophecy. Russia is, of course, in possession of nuclear warheads, which, if provided to Iran, could easily lead to a full-scale escalation in nuclear war if these threats are to be taken seriously. Man, so we in some heavy times, brothers and sisters. Now is the time. Salakia. Now is the high time, to get yourselves right with your how about Shimmy Hawashai, working on bettering yourself, man. So we can, get the hell up out of here. You gotta humble yourself. Okay. So let's go here to Ezekiel. I'm already here, 38:1. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, which, if modern day Gog and Magog is Russia. Okay, even though they were Japhetic people, they were pushed out by the Edomites, the so-called white people, and now they inhabit that land. Okay, but this prophecy still stands. The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal and prophesy against him, and say, Thus said the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. He putting that old USSR Soviet Union spirit back on them. And all thy horses and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Yeah. Russia has been building up their army, and now, Russia, they a superpower now. And, the U.S. is, they scared of getting into conflict with Russia, but they be there now. Verse 5, Persia, which is number 1 on that list, which is modern day Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, I forget what Gomer is, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands and many people with thee. I think it might be Turkey, I could be wrong. Verse 7, Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Right, so Russia is their guard unto these other nations. Okay, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, Gomer, and Togarmah. Okay, and we see it in biblical prophecy. As we've seen in that article, okay, Dimitri's objective appears to be clear: dismiss any U.S. claims of a successful mission and not so veiled threats that Iran and Russia, Persia and Russia, will not take this attack without response. Hey, we in those perilous times, brother. Let's go here to Joel, 3rd chapter. Let's go to verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. And that's what Iran was trying to do until Esau, being the hammer of the earth, Babylon, went and, messed it up. But they forgot about these weak nations having allies, strong allies. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, or Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge the heathen round about. And we in them times, man. Yahweh is moving them chess pieces on the board to, bring about the end of this age. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 3. Now, is the end come upon thee, and I would send my anger upon thee, and would judge thee according to thy ways, and recompense upon thee all thy abominations. And my eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thy abomination shall be in the midst of thee, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, and evil and only evil, behold, is come. An end is come, the end is come, and watch it for thee, behold, it is come. And that's all that's coming, is the end. Okay? It is no more good times, man. We're on a decline. Okay, it's not no making America great again. That's not gonna be no bouncing back. Okay, things are gonna progressively get worse. The morning is come unto thee, O thou that dwellest in the land. The time is come. The day of trouble is near, and not the sounding again of the mountains. Now will I surely pour out my fury upon thee, and accomplish my anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and recompense thee for all thy abomination. And my eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity. That's why it's important to try to get yourself right with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, while the doors of grace and mercy are still open, man, because you don't want you will want Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to spare you and to have pity on you. I will recompense thee according to thy ways, and thy abominations that are in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh that smiteth. Behold the day, behold it is come, the morning is gone forth, the rod have blossomed, pride have budded. Yeah, and these devils you see Trump full of pride. Okay, if you seen his speeches he made after that, he full of pride, man. But 11, violence is risen up into a rod of wickedness. None of them shall remain, nor of their multitude, nor any of theirs, neither shall there be willing for them. So, yeah, you better get yourselves together. This is 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Perilous times, man. Perilous goes to dangerous. Matthew 24:6. Matthew 24:3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Yeah, because you still got the MOTB that has to be made mandatory. Okay, that's a prophecy that we got to, continue to wait for. Yeah, it's gonna, things are gonna escalate and get bad, but it's not gonna get totally nuclear until the chip is made mandatory and the hour of temptation is upon us and Jacob's trouble. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Let's get one more before I close out. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And, for those of us in the truth, us Israelites, which consists primarily of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native, Seminole Indians, West Indians, and Haitians. You also have the Israelite foreigners who are likened unto a speckled bird who look like the heathen nations because they've been scattered amongst the heathen nations. But their bloodline and lineage goes back unto Jacob by way of their fathers. Okay. Doing that, shit now, and when those evils come, we should be dependent and trusting upon Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that he would deliver us and see us out of this, man. Okay. 2/3, they not gonna know what to do. They gonna be turning to Esau. But we're going to turn and put our trust and faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Right? And Trump trying to push, that peace, and trying to make America great again. And they gonna be under an illusion. But as you say, sword, famine, and great confusion, the evils is gonna continue to grow. Let me get one more. First Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and of the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So, like I said, it's high time to get yourselves in order with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? Things are hitting up. The end is drawing closer. The doors of grace and mercy are closing. So, you don't want to be, it is a such thing, it's too late. So don't put it off from day to day. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord. So pray and hope this lesson was edifying, giving our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Makapadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and peace, blessing, safety, and salutation unto the hopeful elect, and to you believing listeners out there. Shalom.